Hey everyone, so today I have a little video and just chat with you guys and catch up. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe and healthy during quarantine and everything else that's been going on in the world. If you ever want to talk or you need someone to listen to you, feel free to message me on Instagram DM. I love connecting with you guys on there and I love keeping you guys updated on my life as well. So first off, I've been getting lots of questions about my spirituality. I've spoken about this before, and I would say within the past year or so, I've definitely gone through like a spiritual awakening, just understanding kind of my role in the universe and divine timing, serendipity, synchronicity, and just really kind of diving into manifestation, meditation, and getting into this. I honestly have such a passion for it. I research about it. I love to learn about it. I love to read different articles and blogs, and I love to watch videos, listen to podcasts, just really immerse myself in it as much as I possibly can and gain that knowledge, and then hopefully spread it to you guys. I love to talk about it with my friends and just surrounding myself with like-minded people that I think are good energy and that make me a better person. I think is really kind of why I have that such tie to spirituality and why I think it's so important. So I've gotten questions about when I talk about getting signs and synchronicity, even serendipity, things happening at the right time, the right moment, lucky coincidence, what it all really means, and for me to kind of explain some of the things that I see, some of the patterns that I've caught in my life, and just different things that I was able to kind of notice for my journey and to kind of understand how things were aligning and working out together. And something that I want to say and be very clear about is your spiritual journey and your connection with the universe and synchronicity, all these kind of things. The most magical part about it is that it is your journey. It is something that is special to you, and it's things that connect to you and your own life and your path and what's going on and kind of the work that you're doing within yourself and the things that you're overcoming, the growth that you're making, the changes. And I would love to explain to you guys my little signs and things that I see and things that I notice, but just keep in mind that it's probably not going to be the same things for you, because that's kind of the whole point about it. If it was just that simple, everyone would feel like they're in touch with the universe and really understand themselves on that spiritual level. But the whole point is it takes work and it takes practice and it takes being in the moment and really centering yourself and understanding when something sticks out to you and kind of finding the deeper meaning in that, searching for it, really kind of longing for that answer, and then kind of tying it all back together with your own consciousness and your own thoughts. So I hope that makes sense, but I do want to kind of go through some of the ones that I see if you guys are kind of just curious what I mean when I talk about that stuff. First is license plates. That's pretty simple. I went through a stage where in Texas, I was seeing a license plate of this other state that I feel like is not very common here, and it would happen all the time. Like a car would cut me off, pull right in front of me. I would look up and it was this license plate. I would pull into a parking spot and there would be no other cars in the entire place, and then someone would pull up right beside me and I'd get out and just walking by, I'd glance over and their license plate was this thing. I'd be in the car talking with my friend about a certain person or whatever, and then immediately right next to us would pull up this car, and then I'd look over and it would be that license plate. There are just little signs like that. Even songs and stuff. I've spoken about this. I had quite an interesting experience in Las Vegas with a certain song kind of really directing me. It doesn't always have to be super direct messages and ideas. A lot of it is open for your own interpretation, and I think that's what's kind of so beautiful about it. You can be sitting there in the car and you can hear this song that maybe you haven't heard in years, but it transports you back to a certain time, a place, a person, and you can sit there and in your head kind of, just feel a little connection to them or feel like it has some sort of meaning and it's personal to you. It's not something that's going to be a huge giant gesture, but I would say that the more you try to run from the universe, the more you try to, not do certain work or try to put off things in your intuition or whatever it may be, the more signs you're going to get, because, no matter what, the universe wants to be heard. It's there for you. It wants to help you and it wants to guide you. And if you are rejecting it and not letting it play out, I think the more and more you're going to be bombarded with signs and things that are really just trying to direct your attention. In the same way, I think also when you're on a really good path and you're doing the right thing and things are aligning, it's also really crazy to see the things that kind of add up and give you little signs. I've spoken very openly about the cardinals. Now they are a symbol for angels, angel messengers, very commonly known. You can research it. And I spoke about when I had someone very close to me pass away, I began seeing them, and even more so now, I've been seeing them so often often, and I have one that comes straight up to my door. I've gotten multiple videos of it. It's really quite crazy because I see it at certain times when I'll be thinking about this person or I'll be talking about things, and then I'll see this little cardinal for this little bit of time, and then it goes away. And it's just a little reminder, I think, to me. Again, it's a way that I connect to the universe, and I think it's definitely an angel. I love at least thinking of angels and guardian angels and all that kind of stuff. It's a comforting feeling for me. Again, if it's not something that resonates with you, that's totally fine. But I have posted some videos of that little cardinal, so if you guys are curious about that. And then recently, as well as numbers, you know, again, numbers can have a lot of meaning to them, so you guys can look into that. I always get questions about my 1111 necklace, which is from Logan Hollow. I love her jewelry. I definitely think it's very spiritual and very sacred. I can for sure tell you that I've gotten so many more signs and signals since wearing her stuff, and 11/11, of course, is just a very special, lucky time. Always make sure to make a wish, be grateful, thank the universe, all that kind of stuff. And then recently, orbs. It was actually really crazy. I have not taken a picture with an orb in it for a very long time. I spoke about this once before when Ben Breedlove passed away. The next night, I took a photo outside, and there were just orbs all over. Like, if I can find the photo, I'll try to insert it. At least 100 of them. It was crazy, the most crazy thing I've ever seen, and that was a very hard experience for me. And you know, if you look up the meaning of orbs and stuff, a lot of people also believe that they're spirits and angels and all that kind of stuff. And I hadn't had that happen to me in a while, and then just the other day I took a photo and there's an orb, and it's very clearly moving around all in the photos, and it's only in one set of photos. Like, it wasn't something on the lens or anything like that. I know a lot of people sometimes claim that they're dust and stuff. It wasn't the case because it's very specifically in the photo moving around. Again, if you're interested in that, you guys can research more about orbs and everything. So the next question I have is about how to trust your intuition, how to understand that, how to really dive deeper into that. I'm just going to be honest. I think we as people, but also as women, we have been blessed with an intuition. And you guys would not believe the amount of messages I get from you guys telling me that you feel like something's up, you feel suspicious about something, but you know, you're being told you're crazy, or you're being told you're wrong, or that's not true. And then bam, a few weeks later, a month later, you were exactly right. And I think that's so interesting. And as I've gotten older, my intuition has only gotten stronger. I trust my intuition with everything. When something feels off about a person, a place, an idea, anything, I trust that. And I try not to live in fear. I try to live, you know, authentically and honestly and openly. And I try to expect that honesty in, you know, situations and with people. But at the same time, like, if you just have a feeling about something, I would go with it. And I think the more you really practice on listening to that, the more and more you'll realize that your intuition is there to silently guide you. You know, it's not something that's going to always be yanking you out of situations and making you second guess and have anxiety. It's very calm, it's very controlled, and it's a very clear feeling and sign that something is not right, and something that, you know, on some level you kind of already know. And I think for a lot of people, that's what's really upsetting, is when you kind of deep down know something and you choose to not listen to that and then to be right. I think you're almost like going against yourself because you felt like you kind of knew inside and knowing. So I would definitely tell people to practice more listening to their intuition and to really try to kind of get in tune with it and use it to your advantage, because it is a gift. And while being in quarantine, I've been watching lots of movies. And again, I always like to talk about different questions. I like to ask people to get to know them. I think the top 3 movie question, you know, it's typical. People ask that all the time. A great question is top 3 movie sex scenes. Now, this is interesting because I think you can learn a lot about someone from this, because, you know, someone could take it a little raunchy. You know, they might give you some 50 Shades of Grey stuff or whatever, or, you know, something that maybe is so like sensual and romantic and cool and like, I don't know, just different. So this is a good question. You guys have full right to steal it from me. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you mine. So the first one is the beach. So this is a scene where they go into this like lagoon and it's all lit up under the water, and it's just so romantic and beautiful. I love it. I remember seeing this when I was a lot younger, and I've never forgotten that scene. I just think something about it is just so, it's beautiful. I don't know. I can't describe it any other way than that. I love that one. And of course, I gotta mention the Titanic drawing scene. Now, if you have not seen the Titanic, what are you doing? Such a classic, incredible, amazing movie. And this scene is so sensual. I know it's not a sex scene, but it's just so filled with like desire and lust, and it's just so, innocent in a way, I guess, the way he looks at her while he's drawing her naked and everything. I think it's so cool. I love it. Such a romantic idea. For sure, one of the sexiest scenes ever, hands down. And then the last one is for sure probably The Girl Next Door, the scene when they're in the limo. Very interesting movie, very much a comedy, but this scene is so emotional. I love the music. I love David Gray. It is just like amazing. I think it's so loving. Like, it definitely has the essence of making love, not sex. And it's just, I don't know, it's a beautiful scene. Again, I love the way he looks at her. I just think it's so magical and very, I don't know, innocent. And that's definitely one of my favorite movie sex scenes. The next question I have is about settling and being lonely during quarantine. So obviously this is a very interesting time. People are in situations that we've never been in. It's hard to be social. You can't really. You're probably not meeting new people and going out. And a lot of people are lonely during this time. They've had so much time just to sit and think and be with their own thoughts. And you know what? For a lot of people that are not healed emotionally and that don't really take the time to do a lot of emotional inventory and figure out, you know, certain things that they need to work on or certain things that need to change in their relationship, this can be a time of reverting back to old relationships and old situations, partners, people, and things that honestly you're kind of settling for because you're lonely. Being lonely is universal. I think everyone honestly feels lonely during quarantine. It's very normal, but it's also very uncomfortable. It's a feeling that a lot of people, I think, don't allow themselves to feel because it feels bad. It feels like people don't care about you, like you're by yourself, like you don't have anyone, and a lot of times it can feel very soothing and simple to revert back to someone from your past or some relationship you once had, even if maybe it's not the right one, but you just don't want to be alone. And I think that it's very telling, the people that do that. I think a lot of them lack the emotional maturity to understand that's what's going on, but I also will say that in all situations, you know, I can give you advice and I can help you and I can try to be a support system for you, but a lot of people need to learn for themselves. It's very hard to tell people something. It's way easier to go through it and experience it yourself. I would say a lot of relationships that end, if you don't do solid, committed work to fixing the problems, then they're still there. You can get back 100 times and it's not really going to be that different. And in a lot of ways, sometimes it's worse just because, I don't know, I think there's something about when you break up and you get back together, a lot of times it's never just really what you expect it to be again. And I know that from experience. And I think a lot of people that maybe don't know that or haven't accepted that need to just go through it. And I think being lonely during quarantine is a great time to focus on yourself. Do things that make you happy, feel fulfilled, feel like a whole person, so that when you get to meet someone and quarantine is lifted and we can go out and go back to our normal lives, you are dating because you want to, not because you need someone and you need someone to fill that space and that void that you have. But it takes time. It's definitely hard to get there, and it's really natural to just revert back to something comfortable. That's what many people do. But I think if you really think about it from a standpoint of true happiness and fulfillment, I mean, a relationship that ended for specific reasons probably isn't going to be better the second time around. That's all I'm going to say on that. But if you guys have any questions about it or you want to talk more about it in my DMs, feel free to message me. I got so many really interesting DMs from guys about my cheating video when I was talking about emotional cheating versus physical cheating. I thought it was so cool just to hear men's opinions on that because they were definitely varied and very intellectual, stimulating conversations, and I love reading through the comments for that reason. I find it so cool and fascinating to hear what y'all think and your different points of views. It's definitely my favorite part about making these videos for sure, and this is why I love to talk about relationships and stuff, because I think everyone just has different viewpoints on it and different life experiences and ideas, and we can all learn and grow and become better for it. And the last question I want to talk about is about getting what you want, having everything in life. There's a quote that I'll go ahead and put up on the screen, basically talking about, you know, being envious and jealous of other people, and also just feeling like you don't understand why certain things aren't working out for you and why you can't have certain things aren't progressing in a way you would want. First of all, I will say that when you decide that everything is happening in correct timing, and even with karma, I truly believe that karma is not punishment. It is a lesson being given to you to help you grow and level up and become better. And even with the universe and things not working out, I mean, I'm perplexed when I look back at certain situations that just didn't go right, things happened, things were derailed, plans were changed. I'm kind of amazed at the destination that it brings you to, because it's always something better. It's always for a reason. And if you take every situation and you look for that silver lining, I know that's very, you know, just age-old thing. Like, look for the silver lining in things. There's always a plus side. There's always a good side. The glass half full versus a glass half empty mentality. you will find that there is something good in every bad situation. And sometimes when things don't work out, you're actually being directed to something better. And that's a great way to live. It's a very positive idea. I believe that it's manifesting good things into your life because it's manifesting that you're propelling forward, that things are taking you on a journey and you're learning and you're going with the flow and you're evolving and changing and leveling up and you're keeping the momentum going. You're not letting things not working out hold you back or distract you or tear you down. You're just moving with it. And I think when you do that, you realize just how much easier life gets, and in return, how much more energy you can focus onto your goals, on creating things that you want to happen, onto focusing on yourself. Because at the end of the day, the only person that's going to give you the life that you want is you. You are your number one biggest fan, at least you should be, and you are the person that can create things to happen for yourself, but you have to want it for yourself. You have to understand that life isn't fair sometimes, life can be hard, and things don't always go as planned, things are difficult sometimes, maybe they're confusing, you can't really understand it. I promise you, in time, if you take calculated steps to do good things for yourself and try to become the best version of yourself, you will look back and you will understand why you went through those things. You might even be very grateful that you went through those things and experienced what you did, because you'll understand that truly made you the person you are today, and it put you in a much better position than you ever would have been if those things hadn't happened. So that's it for my video today. I hope this was some positive energy and just a little bit of entertainment for you during this quarantine time. I'm really excited to come back and make some more videos. I've missed you guys. I might be dyeing my hair soon a new color, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.